I think you guys are all potential future entrepreneurs for our country, for the world, and I think in today's scenario, world is the limit, as we can call it. And so I will share some of my views on the ethical and legal challenges faced by the startups, and it's a very pertinent topic in today's scenario because the way startups are coming up in the country and across the world, there are always these challenges which can crop up and have potential to derail the growth and journey of the startup. So, uh, um, very important to be aware of this, and especially when you're in a growing space and then you grow too fast. All the spaces which are currently absolutely new or untouched, where the regulations do not exist. I mean, if you see about 10 years, 15 years back when the e-commerce companies were coming up, there were no regulations for e-commerce companies. So they just operated in a way that they like to operate. And when all the awareness started coming up uh, in that space, there were challenges. The governments also got together and put some regulations and all those things. So those kind of things can create certain hurdles, which can be taken care of if at least the awareness should be there, um, because as you grow you need to be complying to these regulations and all the legal frameworks which has been put in place. So I would like to touch upon some of these areas, and please feel free to ask questions in between. I mean, I would like to have this as more interactive session, and anytime you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I will try to answer that with best of my abilities. uh, so again, when we start, we talk about legal issues. The first thing is, how do we structure a company? How do we call a company as a company? For starting a company, you don't need much. I mean, for its in the initial phase, the startup can work in stealth mode where you can have a name and all those things. But at some point of time, you need to register those names with the company, or with the company of registrar of companies. And there are two three structures which are applicable for the startups. uh, One is that it could be a proprietary company where you are the sole proprietary, kind of structure where you are the only owner of the company, and you can register it. Uh, the second structure is where you can have it in a limited liability partnership, and third is you can have it as a private limited company. And a lot of you have seen public limited companies, but those are the companies who are registered as a or their stocks are publicly traded. All other three, what I have told, these are the pertinent. So you need to register into a stock exchange through an IPO or FPO, or there are other ways, but not very relevant to startups. So as we say, the difference between the three is that proprietorship has your personal wealth and personal things attached to the company. So if something goes wrong in the company, you are personally liable for it, financially and legally. And in LLP, it's limited liability partnership. So as the name suggests, its liability is limited to the capital which has been, uh, pledged to the company. And private limited is little more. You can have multiple, more than 100 partners and all those things, and shares can be distributed. So depending on what type of model you want to operate into and what the scale you are looking for, you may want to register one of these three uh, different uh, legal entities. Now, of course, and as we move from proprietorship to LLP to private limited, the compliances required are more. Proprietorship, you don't need to file any return with the ROC. Yes, income tax return has to be filed and all those things. And then with limited liability partnership, you have to file declarations with the ROC, but those are very limited, non-audited. But when you're a private limited, there has to be an audit, external audits and all those things. So there are more compliances, then there are more costs and all those things. So accordingly, you need to choose. But if you're looking for a firm where you want to raise external capital through venture capitals or through external sources, which are not in form of debt, then essentially you will need to form a private limited company, because they would also want certain compliances to be done. So this is on the starting a company, and this is registering a company. And then if you want to operate in certain spaces, there could be licenses which may be required. Like if you want to operate into mobility, then you need to apply for licenses. Hello, is there a question? Okay, so licenses you may need to acquire. If the startup is in a food industry, you may need restaurant license pertaining to that particular state, because food is a state subject in India. Or you want to start something in, let's say, if you want to put a chemical factory or some kind of manufacturing, then you need a manufacturing license and all those things, depending on what kind of this thing. So that is one area where you want to. GST registration, if you are looking to start an e-commerce, by the virtue of the nature of the industry, the e-commerce industry, irrespective of the size, has to be registered with GST. So these are some of the things which are directly related to the starting of the business itself. Of course, there are government schemes, and the government come up with schemes which to appreciate or to promote these startups. So there could be some schemes available to you to actually go to a single party which can handle all these for you, but those need to be assessed with respect to what kind of startup you're getting into, or what kind of entrepreneurship you're getting into. And of course, besides that, there are other legal requirements in terms of operations of the business. So there are labor requirements, labor laws which are applicable, but they come with the size of the organization. So if you are less than 10 people in the startup or in any organization, there are very minimal compliances you have to do. But as the number goes up, then you have to get into the PF, the ESIC, and gratuities and other kind of stuff. So all those things you have to be aware of. But when in a very early stage startup, you may not need to worry about it. But as you grow, as the number goes, you may have to engage into some kind of advisory services who can provide you these assistance as and when required. So then there could be zonal issues or issues which are related to that particular state. I mean, there are a lot of legal requirements which are state subjects. So suppose you want to open something in Rajasthan, and then tomorrow you want to expand it to Maharashtra, the rules and regulations for two states can be very different. So you need to be aware of that. Then there are laws against data protection and privacy. So and this is currently a very hot topic. I mean, everybody's talking about it, even including the Parliament of India. So you have to be very careful on the privacy issues and data protection. Second, which is very pertinent topic, is the protection of intellectual property. So IP is very tricky subject, because most of the time and a lot of time what startups do is they are existing ideas, somebody is doing it, and then you want to improve upon those things. So you may feel that your idea is very different than what exactly is, but it's already happening. So let's say Ola and Uber, I mean, they could be the same ideas. I mean, there could be differentiation, but there could be areas where with both of them do the same thing. So there could be claims, counter claims on IP issues. So you have to be very careful about that. because you do a lot of hard work to bring it to certain level, and then you realize that somebody is making a claim onto you. There could be a patent breach, there could be a copyright breach, there could be a trademark breach, there could be a trade secrets breach. So all those areas can come. And it's not that, I mean, it's not to discourage you from doing this, but the idea is the awareness is important. You should know that these are the things which can become the hurdle. So these are some of the things on the legal side, and then I want to touch upon something on the ethical side of things, because you know ethics is a very fluid subject. I mean, what is ethical for you may not be ethical for me, but there are certain ground realities which has been established over the period of time. So, and ethics is something which is very deeply rooted with the culture of a society also. So for certain societies, it could be ethical. So for certain societies, it may not be ethical. But we are going to talk more in terms of the startups. So when we talk about ethics, the first thing which comes to mind is the duties. So duties towards your customers, duties towards your employees, duties towards your environment. So if you're promising something with your customer, as we call it, ethical advertising. I mean, there could be two type of ethical issues involved. One is could be the moral issues, could be the promise issues, like you promise something and then you can't deliver it, and you deliver something less. So that's an ethical. I mean, you may have fulfilled your contract as such, but you are not able to meet the expectation or the promises you have made to the customer. So, and as I said, the ethics is a very, very fluid matter. Something which is ethical for you may not be ethical for them. You promise somebody a soap and he was expecting, let's say, Dove, and you send them a Dettol, and that may be unethical for him. So, but you said that I never said that I will send you a Dove, but he was expecting one. So those issues can happen. Duties towards employees, because you are a startup, you are, I mean, you need to work very differently from the established organizations, but the employee expectations may be very different. So getting them to understand and telling them the challenges or the expectations from them upfront is a good idea to start with. Framing their employment contract in a way that they try to give them clarity as much as possible, though it's counterintuitive because you are a startup and that means that there will be lack of clarity, but still giving them expectation in terms of work hours, in terms of expectations on the salaries, on the pay revisions and all those things. It's a good idea to give them a flavor of it, though things may evolve as you move forward. Duties toward the environment. I mean, you are a startup, you are a company which wants to do everything on a very low cost or low budget, and for that sometimes you may require to cut some corners, but is it ethical to do that? So it sometimes it will be ethics versus profit, a dilemma you will face very often in any environment, and it's not particular with startups, but it is for any environment. So do you cut corners or you do not cut corners? And sometimes the competition will be doing it. Suppose you open a restaurant and there is a used cooking oil, and if you have to dispose it off in an environment friendly way, you may have to spend some extra money. But a person right in front of you opening a shop may be directly dumping it into a gutter, so he does not have that cost. So all those issues are there, and how do you deal with them? So these are certain ethics issues which you find, and respect of labor laws. I mean, that's one area where nobody will come at your door every time now and then, but do you maintain the labor laws or do you respect the labor laws or not? That's totally up to you. Because you can do compliances just for the sake of compliances, creating papers only, but do you really want to implement them in the letter and the spirit? So that is something which you need to be aware of, and that is something which you need to take care of as an entrepreneur. Then again, there is one more thing, is that dealing with counterfeit goods. So I mean, when I say counterfeit goods, I mean, let's take restaurant example. So do you use the top of the notch if you're making a dish with potatoes? So do you use okay type potatoes, or you use the best type of potatoes or not? So because the user, the people coming into your restaurant may not find that difference, but it is up to you that what you want to serve. And initially, before you make your mark, you may not even get the premium for it. I mean, you may be using premium ingredients and premium things, but you may not get same amount of value from your customer, because you are still trying to build that value for them. So that is again an area where you have, I mean, it's kind of, it's nothing wrong about it. You're not using a wrong or a rotten potato, but you may not be using the best of it. So what do you want to do about it? And ethics is more of a dilemma which you encounter in your day-to-day life as well. I mean, it's not that you break a signal on a while riding a motorcycle, you break a signal and you get caught. First of all, whether you should break the signal or not. But if you have broken it, whether you want to report it or not. If you have reported it, whether you want to pay a fine of 1,000 rupees, or you bribe the guy for 100 rupees and get away. So that's the classic ethical dilemma. And ethical dilemmas are more of a challenge when you have to choose between the two rights. I mean, there's when the things are not explicitly wrong or explicitly right. I mean, it's always easy to choose between right and wrong, but when you have to choose between the two right things, uh, that's where the real challenge is. So I think these are some of the things which you need to be aware of, especially when you get into a journey, because um, ethical challenges may not seem very pertinent or very compelling as on it, but they can have very big impact on the business if these things come out in the public. Uh, it may damage your brand, damage your business. But on the other side, on the legal issues, if there are compliance issues, it can directly impact you as a person, because as the owner or the founder or the largest shareholder, you are answerable for that, and it can land you even in jail, if I can use that word. But I'm sure that we as a prudent entrepreneurs, we would do what is best for us and best for the country, and respect the law. So that is all I wanted to share with you guys on ethics and legal framework for the startups. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type or talk. I don't know what's the mode for this. Good question. How will we know we are breaching at some IP again? So though there are IPs is a very broad subject, and there are agencies and companies who can help you. But I know, I mean, as a startup, you may not have money to engage an organization from them. But some way you can. I mean, today in the world of, I mean, and information is very readily available, and you can Google it. I mean, if you have some idea in mind, and see if somebody is using that same idea in the same way, and in what stage of evolution it is, in what country it is being done. I mean, if somebody is doing it in USA and they don't have any plan to come to India, and you are doing it in India and you don't have any plan to go to US, the chances of you know getting that IP breach claim is very low. And IP is something which is, it depends on. So IP is a matter where somebody need to make a claim on it. I mean, it's not that I believe, oh, तो मेरे दिमाग में भी था आइडिया मैं भी बहुत सालों से यही सोच रहा था इसने कर लिया तो I will go and sue him for the IP breach. So that's not the case. That's not how it happens. IP are mostly related to, you may have the same idea, but if you are using the same app or same code, you use their code to develop your code, then you are breaching the IP. Having the same idea but doing it differently does not breach IP. Similarly, if you have um, um, unless you are using the same logo as they are using the logo, so you're not infringing the copyright or the trademark. So all those things are important. So unless you are using their platform or their knowledge or their specific know-how which you are using to build on something, you're not breaching an IP. So I think that question you can answer yourself whether you are doing it or not. I mean, there are thousands of cars in the market, and it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody is breaching somebody IP. So it's so another thing which is there is Competition Commission of India. So it's not that we prohibit or any country will prohibit the competition. So if you're competing with somebody like COVID drug, I mean, there are so many people who have developed the drug for the same this thing. But as long as they have not used something which originated by somebody else, you're not breaching an IP. So IP, as much as it's a tricky subject, you need not to be worried if it's your original idea and you're doing it from scratch on your own. I hope I answered your question. If there is a follow-up, please let me know.
So students, if any further questions, any question from my side, students? So anyways, thank you, sir. So we can move on for the next session. Over to you,
Thank
Abhikar.
you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Gaurav, for this insightful discussion. So, guys, first of all, I would like to thank Richa ma'am and Engineering College Bikaner for this opportunity. So, just for the background and sake of taking liberty to tell you that me and Gaurav come from the same batch, 2016 first mechanical batch, and it's really privileged to connect with the alma mater and people there. So it's really a privilege for me. So this is a regular corridor topic we generally in startups does, how to scale up, right? And there is no such method, honestly speaking. Whatever I will tell you, it is my experience, some of things which I have learned, but this will fit into any business or every requirement. It is not like it, right? Because I come from marketplace and e-commerce. It may be possible in social entrepreneurship. There would be a different model which work and which will help. But yeah, basics would be fairly same. So as you guys know that first we have a startup where we have a seed funding, pre-seed funding, then seed funding. After seed funding, you get into expansion to a large company. So this is a general progression we have in a particular startup. When you talk about a startup where you just identify a business model, you identify a customer base, then you do a POC with them. After doing a POC with them, if that idea clicks, you identify a scalable model, then you grow the market, you get into this market, and you get a very small aperture to get to the success. And if you cross the funding and you get into C round of funding, and then you can feel yourself comfortable that you have got into a zone where you can larger your company or something like it. So this is a basic idea I am giving you for the startup, and I'm very sure you guys are brilliant and you guys know about it. Just for the background, I'm telling you this. So when you are into pre-seed funding, in that case, generally you do a customer discovery. You identify that whom need to be sold and what need to be sold. This is the basic idea you do into pre-stage. After pre-stage, when you go into early stage startup, you do a customer validation. That whatever I was feeling, whatever I was having an idea of, is this really working or not? And then you go for the customer creation. Then you create your customer base, and then you build your own organization. So this is a journey in the front of the customer. So what challenges we generally feel here? First of all, you guys know that there are two kind of idea. One is a zero idea, and second is a one idea. So zero idea is something which is unique, you have thought of first time. One is the idea where you know that there's an existing idea and you are working over it to leverage more market, or you have some different approach to market, or you have a different go-to-market strategy. So these are the two ideas. So if you are having zero idea, then it's totally virgin market. You get in there and you can sell your product. But if it is a one idea, then the challenge is not only you are thinking that you can do it, other 100 people are also thinking that they can do it. So in one idea, and mostly 90 to 95% startups comes into zone of one idea, where they already have a more competition. So the biggest problem which you feel in a startup ecosystem is that every day when you wake up and you open your LinkedIn, or you open the newspaper, you see that 20 startup today has become a unicorn. 30 startup got A funding, 35 B funding, 40 companies C funding, and out of all this number, around 5 to 7 number are into your domain or into the domain where you want to do expansion. So competition is the biggest problem. So what is the idea to solve it? The idea to solve it, whenever you feel that your idea is working, that is the only time to get there and do your expansion. Don't give a second thought. This is personal experience. I mean, maybe some marketing professor may say, no, this is a wrong thought. So I'm taking that liberty of using my experience here. So whenever you feel that this idea can work, just go behind it, be a paranoid, navigate your success then and there. If you will do a lot of data analysis, lot of data cuts, take opinion experts, you may lose it. So realize it is working. That is the time it has to be scaled up. Now, how to scale up? Very simply, this is until unless you are not solving challenge, you are not solving any problem, you are not adding any ease.
Ankur, you are not
So your
audible.
voice is
Voice is breaking, so please switch off your camera and then it may work out.
yes. It may save the bandwidth.
It may save the bandwidth. Switch off your camera and then.
So is this working now?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. So one very important thing is actually you should be solving any challenge. You should be identifying a strategic gap into this value chain and you should be solving it. Then only you can survive as a startup or otherwise around also. So that problem solving is very important. Until unless you are not identified any gap, you are not adding any value to the life of the customer, seller or buyer or the trader until unless you cannot survive into the market. So there has to be a problem identification and there has to be a solution to it. The second thing which I feel is you should be having right people to drive the idea. So right set of people along with you are very important criteria when you are working into a ecosystem where would be a very less check and balances. So if you are working into Indian Railway, so you know there are 10 people who are doing a redundancy for you, who are working to make a check and balances for you. But if you are working into startup, maybe you have a very smaller team, so you would be having lesser control over processes, you would be having lesser control over customer. IT infrastructure won't be much stronger that time, so you should be right people placed at the right time. That is a very important thing. And one important thing which I mean most of you have been felt, and I'm sure some of you would be the investors into stock market. So we all saw that how the Zomato IPO launched and how they doubled the money. But if you see the basics of fundamentals of Zomato, I don't feel they are strong enough. Any wise man would invest their money. But by the time they were launching IPO, so they would have been made your life hell because your eyeballs were constantly looking at Mr. XYZ is launching their IPO. Alumni group is all about IPO. Previous companies are also promoting Zomato IPO. Even Swiggy and other ecosystem people are also promoting IPO because they know that if this gets success, so their life would be easier, right? So that PR thing makes a difference when you get into a zone of expansion. Till the time you are before that, it means if you are early stage or at the seed stage, till that time working on the stealth mode is a good idea because your idea can be copied and someone can else build on this. But at the moment when you get to expansion mode or cross the B funding, you are near to C funding, then there has to be a very strong PR and marketing team who should be pulling the eyeballs. Now next thing which I feel which is important for scale up is operational efficiencies. So again, the major problem which we feel when you do a startup is whenever you do an expansion and you have a funding, you keep hiring people, and we get to a stage where you have 1,000+ people in the team, and 2 to 300 people are just doing a MIS job. 100 people are only doing customer service. 200 people are doing call centers. So you become very heavy organization in terms of people. So when you believe that this idea is going to work, at the same time, you should be deploying a IT infrastructure to ensure that you hire lesser people and get a higher productivity. That is a very important lesson because you become so heavy in terms of people that governance of people is also a very big challenge. So that governance become very difficult, and most of the founders invest their 70 to 80% time in managing HR. And ideally the job of founder or a CEO is to attract the funding or doing PR. So when you have a bulge team, so because of that bulging, the investment of time becomes more into PR issues HR issues, and your focus can be derailed. So operational efficiency through technology is one of the key thing which I feel is a founder or a CEO should always be looking at. Then always there is a limited aperture to get through. Likewise, just now, 6 months back, there was a no policy for e-commerce. And now, every now and then, government is trying to trap this, trying to pull more and more policies. And this year, till if I talk about July, 22 companies has become unicorn, and out of 21, 18 works into e-commerce space. So now going on, there would be a lot of market restrictions. There would be a lot of do's and don'ts. So the people who got the idea, raise the funding, build up the organization, become the unicorn, now their life is easy because they have a customer base. But if someone is now want to get into it, it becomes difficult. I'm not saying it is impossible, it would be difficult. So we always get a limited aperture to get through the success. So utilization of that aperture is very important. So these are the 5, 6 things which I was having in mind where I wanted to, share. Having said that, I mean, I would like to be more interactive discussion because we can have more technical discussion on startup and scalability, how to navigate success, how to create customer base, which problem is a strategic problem and which problem is not a strategic problem. So in place of having this academic discussion, I would like to know what thoughts you have, where I can help you out. So, I mean, I would be inviting questions here. So, please let me know if I can help anyway.
Students,
Good
please
evening,
ask
sir.
questions.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Good evening,
Devraj.
ma'am. Sir, I wanted to ask that if when we try to go into the industry or market, what first thing that people suggest is market गिराना पड़ेगा. That's what they say. Like sir, कभी freelancing platform पे आपको जाना है, like Fiverr, Upwork or something, तो भी लोग कहेंगे आपको मार्केट गिराना पड़ेगा, अपने टैलेंट को थोड़ा अंडरसेल करना पड़ेगा स्टार्टिंग में. So sir, is that strategy right to get it into a greater platform, your work?
So, Devraj, there are 2 ways to look at it. The most important thing is that's how this market works. If and how typical ecosystem is working is, if someone is selling or buying something at 100 rupees, if you will sell it at 99, people will see a value there. But how long you can do it? This can get you a success, but not sustainable. This success would be a limited success. And that's where problem solving come into the place. If you undersell something, there has to be a time where you will feel or you would be strained or you would be in a situation, and that's how typically happens. Um, uh, uh, be- Before there were people saying X material will reach into 3 days. Today to get any contract, you will say, sir, 24 hours में material मैं आपको पहुंचा दूंगा. But how much cost you will incur for it? Maybe you will get the sales, but your bottom line would be very much strained. So I always believe that if you have any value proposition, you will get the customer. I don't advocate this thought of underselling. I always believe at least get whatever you deserve. That may take time, but you should not be underselling.
And can I
But
add,
sir,
if with your due permission, I can, I mean, if you can, if
Yes,
you can.
Gaurav. Yes, Gaurav, you can.
So what, I mean, see, what happens is, when you're entering into a platform, and a lot of startups do it, and there is nothing wrong or right about it. But basically, what happens is the startups do have to sometimes get into, especially when you are in a crowded space. So what you are talking here is that you are getting into a platform where you get freelance work and all those things. And typically these platforms, how they work is that you register with those platforms, and then you keep getting work, you keep delivering, and then there are rating systems and all those things, right? So what happens is that before you move to that level, before your customer starts seeing you in that light, that okay, this is a guy, I want to get my things done and I am willing to pay a premium. So let's say the world is doing it in for 100 rupees, I am okay to do it with him. If he does it, I get Devraj, I am willing to pay him 120. So he's saying that 20 extra rupees worth of value into you. But before that happens, you need to create that value proposition where people will value to that. So you have to see what my competition is. And typically at the bottom of the pyramid, it's crowded. It's always crowded. So how do you differentiate? Now, one way to differentiate could be that you can lower down your cost and you can do it for free. I mean, that's the lowest you can do. Or can you think of some other differentiators? Can you project yourself? Can you market yourself in a way? I mean, can you showcase your work in a way that people see value into that? So underselling is an easier way to do. I'm just adding to the uncle's point, but it may not be sustainable. And at some point of time, you may have to see the unit economics, as we say, that whether it is scalable, whether if I suppose if you do something, if you are selling some product and you are losing 1 rupee on each sell, then if you sell 100, you will lose 100 rupees. But if you're earning 0.1, even 0.1, and as you scale, that 0.1 will become 10 rupees as you will sell 100 of them. So at least ensure that you have your unit economics there first. Second thing is, cost is easier vector to manage. That's the most easier vector. So if, as we say, that if you have to create a competitive advantage, there are three things you can do. One is that you can innovate, and innovation is very expensive and not everybody can do that. Second, the cost factor, you can be cheapest and that can create differentiator for you. Or third is the customer experience. So how do you create a customer experience which will create value for you? So dropping the cost or market गिराना पड़ता है, ये approach is the easiest to take but very difficult to come out of.
This is a
And
trap
it
actually.
may have worked for, it's a trap, it's a trap. So आज तुम 10 रुपए में कर रहे हो, फिर कल 9 में करोगे, फिर 8 में करोगे. वो 8 को वापस 10 की वैल्यू पे ले जाने के लिए तुमको क्या करना पड़ेगा? Some may be able to crack it, some may not be able to crack it, but होता वो ये करना उसके लिए यही पड़ता है कि you have to show a value proposition for it. You have to create a aura, if I can use that word. You have to create that aura around you or your product. I mean, here, because you are talking about freelancing, its product is you. It's your ability and your knowledge. So can you showcase it and create that differentiation? You can put some sample work on online. I don't know how you want to do it. You may create that network. You can create, you can talk to people. You can instead of going through those platforms, you may directly harness some work and all these things. So, or if you want to do through that platform, then also you can have parallel channels where you get more visibility into the market sphere. So I don't think that's a sustainable strategy to do. Yes, sometimes for some things, if suppose that work is going, suppose there is some very interesting work which will, if you finish that or you get that work, you will get into a different league. It can be a one-off strategy where you pick that work for a low cost or very low margin or without margin, so that it will give you that push that okay, if I can create ticket management system for that company, I can do whatever. So it could be a marketing strategy, but take it as a marketing and strategy and marketing expense. Whatever money you are letting go becomes part of your marketing expense. But it's not a sustainable way of doing it. You cannot keep on doing it forever. That's my take on that. Over to you, Ankur.
So, sir, for a short period of time, like, sir, I want to get into the market. So I'm, lowering down the cost of my work and getting more customers, and then I'm giving them a quality work, sir. The customer experience is really well, and I get customers. And after that short period is over, I start rising my prices to reasonable cost. Then will it be fine, sir?
So,
But can you do that? That's the question. How would you same customer see? Price is a very sticky subject. अब आप देखो पेट्रोल का प्राइस आप 70 रुपए आप देते आ रहे थे अभी तक, उसमें 2 रुपए भी बढ़ते हैं ना, तो सारी दुनिया में हाहाकार होता है. So that's the price is a very sticky point. I mean, people get used to the price.
and problem is someone in the market already waiting. The moment you will increase the price, they will break the price. And that is the problem which I was telling you, that everywhere there is a competition. So better you just create your USP or a differentiator of better services, but at least recover your cost. So the general funda which people use into e-commerce is that this is a customer acquisition cost, or they are influencing customer behavior. Ideally, if you are doing for a small period of time as a strategy on a particular category or on a particular product, it is good. But if it is a business model, then it is wrong. So if you are getting into a particular category, for an example, आपको Nike के shoes के अंदर you want to get into, and already the key player there is Flipkart, and you want to get into that zone or in that category. Okay, एक बार के लिए you can grab the Nike's category, and you can increase your GMV. But if that is the overall model of the business, then it is a wrong strategy, because there are so many other Ankur, Gaurav, or Devraj are sitting. That moment Devraj will increase the price, I will get into the market and break the price. So you will lose the customer base, and where the problem of sustainability comes in. So short term for particular category or particular situation, that can cost of acquisition can be understood, but that cannot be business strategy. So just taking a data point, Dunzo is expenses 147 rupees to earn 1 rupee. But how long?
In fact, and people say that with the scale things will change and all those things. And I can tell you for sure that Amazon is one of the most valued company in the world, but they hardly make money on their e-commerce business. So I mean, it's not that, I mean, they make money, but the margins are wafer thin. It's their other services, how they bundle other services with their core services, that makes money. So that is another. So you can subsidize certain portion of your work, and they call it cross subsidy. So you can subsidize some part of your work to support other work and all those things. So but you have to have that strategy. And as we said earlier, I mean, it's on the cost of repeating itself. It can be a short term or a very, very well thought of strategy, but that cannot be the business model. Because suppose you want to enter the space of Nike, and you are a startup and you want to sell shoes which are equal to Nike quality but cheaper than Nike, and if the moment you start picking popularity, nothing stops Nike to come down to your prices or going below you. So I mean, they have deeper pockets, they have more money to spend than you. So it's a war which you may not be able to win. So you need to create a different differentiator which is difficult to copy for others.
And typical price perception problem is, for an example, I mean, very less people uses ShopClues, right? And people are using Amazon, because if you will keep doing deep discounting, you position yourself as a poor company or a poor strategy or a poor product company, and that's how this is a price perception point people creates. So that is another problem. If you will work on this strategy for a longer time, people will consider if it is cheap, then it is poor quality. So the value for the work has to be equal to what is the basic minimum you deserve. I think I tried to give the answer, and Gaurav also supported me.
I think I agree with. I mean, so it's if you're doing it, it has to be a very definitive strategic decision, and it has to have a timeline, or it has to have a very specific purpose. Gaining market entry and gaining some work which will add a lot of value to your profile or your overall market sellability. Fine. I mean, you can take it as a marketing or customer acquisition cost, as people call it, but it cannot be long-term strategy.
So
Okay, sir, I
Gaurav,
got it. It's a trap. You can get in, but you can't get out. Thank you so much, sir.
Get out, but difficult to come out.
Yes, sir.
Gaurav
you,
and
sir.
Ankur. So Gaurav and Ankur, we have Abhinav also have joined. He was our speaker in morning session. He has also joined.
I know.
Hello, hi everybody.
I just saw that Abhinav Pariyar has joined. So at that moment, I there may be multiple.
Hey, he was, yeah, he spoke to students in morning session. So he said कि मैम हम सब मिलके जब answers देंगे वो ज़्यादा अच्छा रहेगा. That would be much beneficial for students.
Yeah, actually, my suggestion was that like during Q&A, like we all should have a common platform to reply to the queries, because in the morning session I realized that every speaker like they have different perspective to a problem, and so we all together can give a solution. That would be a better.
Absolutely. It is always good to have your perspective, Mr. Pariyar.
And we have Jitendra Sharma also. He has also joined. Jitendra?
Hello.
I hope Jitendra Sharma has also joined.
Yeah, ma'am.
Jitendra,
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
So he is
Hello,
also
everyone.
one of the speakers. He is also one of the speakers.
Sorry,
you guys.
Goes on your time.
नहीं
It's
ऐसा
okay.
कुछ
No,
नहीं है.
not an
नहीं,
issue
नहीं.
actually. I just
Yes.
got free right now. Actually, still I'm in the branch. Actually, hello.
Yes,
He
yes.
will discuss the
It seems that
financial part.
you guys have too much of knowledge about this. So I'm just going to share only few things regarding finance part. So first you should complete.
Sir, Jitendra,
Ji,
first
ma'am.
Vinod sir, please introduce Jitendra.
So for this
Actually,
session,
Vinod told. Yes, sir.
welcome, sir. This is the mentoring session in startup under the Institution Innovation Council of ECB. So this is the evening session. In the morning also we have a session regarding the startups and policies. So I would like to request Richa ma'am, welcome you. And after that we may proceed for the session.
So we have Jitendra. Welcome, Jitendra. He is also an alumni of our institute. I think Jitendra, you are 2008 pass out or 2009 pass out?
Actually, I'm 2009 pass out. I'm from.
He's 2009 pass out from BTech IT.
Yes, ma'am. From
BTech IT branch.
At that time it was BE.
Yes, presently is working with Bank of India, and he'll be telling us the financial help, financial part of that
Financial
startup.
products which are available for startups, actually.
Yes, for startup. So, Jitendra, you may also start.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Sorry, बहुत late हो गया actually मेरा. अभी just bank में था मैं. Actually, I'm sitting in the bank right now at this point of time also. First of all, तो मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि my name is Jitendra Sharma. I have done my engineering from Engineering College Bikaner in the year 2009. After that, I have done my MBA from R.A. Poddar Institute of Management, Jaipur. And from where I got placed in IDBI Bank. So my banking journey has started from 2012. From 2012 to 2018, I worked with IDBI Bank. Then after it, I got switched to Bank of India, where I work in MSME department, that is micro, small and medium enterprises. And presently I'm heading a branch in Gujarat, Ahmedabad, Sanand area actually. It's near to Ahmedabad. There are many companies here. It's an industrial hub also. So before starting this, I just want to tell you that there are, for the startup, banking के बारे में idea है सबको? I hope everybody knows about the basic of banking. What are the products which are available? प्रधानमंत्री मुद्रा योजना के बारे में anyone has here, मतलब किसी को पता है? Hello.
I think जितेंद्र किसी को नहीं पता होगा।
ओके 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 ओके
ये
मैम,
जो
ठीक है,
ये लोग स्टूडेंट
ठीक है, हम
किसी को नहीं
स्क्रैच से मैं एकदम स्क्रैच से बताता हूँ। देखिए सिंपल सी बात है, अगर कोई भी कस्टमर एक सेकंड, कोई भी कस्टमर आप हमारे पास आते हैं बैंक के अंदर कि मुझे ये स्टार्टअप या ये बिजनेस है मेरा, ठीक है ना, ये मैं चालू करना चाहता हूँ, तो मेरे पास क्या क्या प्रोडक्ट्स अवेलेबल है। सिंपल सी बात है, अगर आप हम बोलेंगे अब अभी आप स्टार्टअप है, ठीक है ना, अगर आप प्रधानमंत्री मुद्रा योजना है वो अप टू 10 लाख, फ्रॉम 50,000 टू 5 लाख टू 10 लाख, आपके पास बहुत अच्छी स्कीम अवेलेबल है, दैट इज प्रधानमंत्री मुद्रा योजना। उसके अंदर कोई भी कोलेटरल सिक्योरिटी नहीं चाहिए होती है। अप टू 50,000 इज क्राइटेरिया क्लासिफाइड अंडर शिशु, अप टू 5 लाख दैट इज तरुण एंड किशोर, एंड देन अप टू 10 लाख दैट इज इन तरुण। तो ये तो वो लोन्स है जिसमें आपको कोई भी कोलेटरल सिक्योरिटी रिक्वायर्ड नहीं है। मतलब आप बेसिकली सिंपल सी बात है, आप जाइए, आप बताइए कि भाई ये चीजें है मेरे पास। इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जो आपके लिए चाहिए होएगा वो आपका रजिस्ट्रेशन होना चाहिए। आप प्रोप्राइटरशिप फर्म है, प्रोप्राइटरशिप फर्म वो होती है जिसमें मैं अकेला हूँ, मैं प्रोप्राइटर हूँ इस फर्म का, मैंने एक फर्म बनाई। देन पार्टनरशिप फर्म, मैं मेरा फ्रेंड दोनों मिलके पार्टनर बन गए, हम लोगों ने लीगली रजिस्टर किया, पार्टनरशिप डीड तैयार करी, पार्टनरशिप में रजिस्टर किया, जीएसटी में रजिस्टर किया, तो वो पार्टनरशिप फर्म हो गई। देन प्राइवेट लिमिटेड फर्म, जिसके अंदर एक या दो से ज्यादा लोग मिलके एक कंपनी बनाते हैं। तो तीनों ही एलिजिबल है मुद्रा लोन में अप्लाई करने के लिए। तो ये होता है अप टू 10 लाख ओनली। आफ्टर दैट एक बहुत अच्छी स्कीम है, दैट इज स्टार्टअप इंडिया स्कीम। किसी ने सुना है इसके बारे में भी?
नो सर।
ओके, नो। तो बैंकिंग के ठीक है, आप लोग अगर अभी स्टार्टअप चालू करने वाले तो startupindia.gov.in पे जाइए आप, ठीक है ना, वहां पे आपको पूरा बेसिक आइडिया मिलेगा कि क्या क्या स्कीम अवेलेबल है आप लोगों के लिए। startupindia.gov.in में जाएंगे तो आपको पता लगेगा कि अप टू फ्रॉम 10,000 टू 5 करोड़, ये जो भी स्टार्टअप, जो भी आप लोग अपना प्लान लेके जाते हैं, एक पूरा प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट होता है। डेफिनेटली यू नीड टू प्रिपेयर अ प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट फॉर दिस। आप अपनी प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट लेके जाइए, उसमें पूरा बेसिकली आपको पूरा आइडिया होना चाहिए, क्योंकि सिंपल सी बात है, जिसके लिए मेजर इंपॉर्टेंट होता है वो है इनोवेशन, कि आप क्या करने वाले हैं उसके अंदर, आपका फ्यूचर प्लान क्या है, आप कैसे टारगेट्स अपने अचीव करेंगे, आपने पूरा कंपनी के बारे में। हेलो,
हाँ, you are audible, जितेंद्र।
या ओके, नहीं मुझे लगा कोई मतलब किसी को समझ में आ रहा है मैम, तो फिर मैं आगे और
अरे नहीं, सब समझ में आ रहा है, वो लोग बाद में अपनी क्वेरीज करेंगे।
अच्छा, ओके। तो देखिए स्टैंडअप इंडिया के अंदर तो मैडम यही है, मैं आप सबको बताता हूँ कि 10,000 से लेके 5 करोड़ तक का लोन अवेलेबल मिलेगा, ठीक है। अप टू 2 करोड़ सीजीटीएमएससी में कवरेज रहता है। सीजीटीएमएससी मतलब आपको कोई भी सिक्योरिटी देने की जरूरत नहीं है, अप टू 2 करोड़ इजीली अवेलेबल रहेगा। लेकिन मोर देन 2 करोड़ की लोन की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी, तब आपको कोई कोलेटरल सिक्योरिटी बैंक डिमांड कर सकता है। इसके अंदर गवर्नमेंट सब्सिडीज भी काफी अवेलेबल है। कोई भी स्टार्टअप है, जैसे अभी मैंने कल ही विजिट करी थी startupindia.gov.in, उसके अंदर भी लिखा हुआ था, काफी सारे लोग हैं जो सब्सिडीज, बहुत सारी एन नंबर ऑफ सब्सिडीज दैट इज अवेलेबल इन दिस। तो उसके लिए तो मैम कोई एक लीगल हायर या आपको कोई अच्छा सा एक सीए या चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट ही रखना पड़ेगा, दैट विल टेल यू अबाउट दिस कि कौन कौन सी सब्सिडीज अवेलेबल रहती है। बेसिकली आप लोगों को अभी स्टार्टिंग के अंदर, क्योंकि अगर आपके पास कॉन्सेप्ट आ गया कि चलो ठीक है हमें ये चीज चालू करनी है, लेकिन सेकंड थिंग जो मेन एंड इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है फंडिंग। अब फंडिंग कैसे आएगी? जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट होता है किसी भी वेंचर के लिए कि भाई ठीक है मेरे पास कंसेप्ट है, आइडिया है, सब कुछ हो गया, बट आई डोंट नो, आई डोंट हैव कैपिटल विद मी। तो कैपिटल के लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होती है कि एक फंडिंग की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है। फंडिंग के लिए दो तरीके से आते हैं। एक प्राइवेट फंडिंग होती है कि चलिए मैंने अपने फ्रेंड से पैसा लिया, बोरो किया मनी और लगा दिया, रिलेटिव से लिया, फ्रेंड से लिया, घर वालों से लिया। दूसरी चीज में बैंक वाले आते हैं, जहां पे बैंक इसमें प्ले करता है रोल इसमें, क्योंकि बैंक भी आपके बिजनेस के अंदर पार्टनर बनता है। तो बैंक अब जब भी आप लोन के अंदर अप्लाई करने के लिए आता है तो सबसे पहले हम लोग यही चेक करते हैं किसी भी लोन के अंदर कि ये इनका एक्चुअली ये जो बनाना चाह रहा है ये कितना सक्सेसफुल रहेगा, इसके बारे में कितनी नॉलेज है इनको, ठीक है, आगे ये कितना रिटर्न दे सकते हैं हमें, क्योंकि बेसिकली बैंक का मेन है कि जो पैसा हम लोग दे रहे हैं, लैंड कर रहे हैं, वो सिक्योर होना चाहिए पूरा। तो उसके बारे में, उसके जानने के लिए पूरी आपकी प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट प्रिपेयर होती है। 1 to 1 चीज एकदम आपको करना है कि भाई मैं प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट है कि मैं इतना, मेरा स्टार्टिंग में ये रहेगा, यही चीजें। अगर आपको कोई आप ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट है या आप कुछ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट लगाना चाह रहे हैं तो मैं कहाँ से प्लांट एंड मशीनरी परचेज कर रहा हूँ, उसके बारे में ब्रीफ आइडिया है या नहीं है, क्या वही मशीनरी मुझे दूसरी जगह कम वैल्यू में मिलेगी, नहीं मिलेगी, उसके बारे में भी कंप्लीट आइडिया आप लोगों को होना चाहिए। और तो मैं क्या बताऊं, आप बताइए मैडम, अब इंटरेक्शन करते हैं वो ज्यादा सही रहेगा। इनकी क्या प्रॉब्लम है, आप बताइए कि आप क्या पूछना चाहते हैं एक्चुअली बैंकिंग से रिलेटेड। और
स्टूडेंट्स, अगर आपकी कोई क्वेरीज हो कि आपको अपने फंड्स की, भाई अगर हमारा कुछ हम कोई स्टार्ट करना चाहें तो उसके फंड्स के से रिलेटेड अगर कोई क्वेरीज हो
बिल्कुल
तो आप पूछ सकते हैं। और एनी अदर क्वेश्चन, क्योंकि अब आप लोग कोई भी क्वेरीज कर सकते हैं। देयर आर टू मेनी पर्संस हु कैन आंसर योर क्वेश्चंस। I may ask question?
yes, मैम।
अच्छा, मुझे okay, can you please, any one of you, can you please answer me, what can be the reason of failures for any startup?
Madam, there are multiple.
हाँ बताओ ना, जितने as many as।
मैम सबसे मेजर जो प्रॉब्लम है जो कि मिस्टर जितेंद्र सॉल्व करते हैं, फाइनेंस।
अच्छा,
सबसे मेजर प्रॉब्लम तो बिकॉज ऑफ लैक ऑफ फंड्स is the one reason. Second reason, you drag your idea too long and some big player come into the picture. For an example, बहुत सारे छोटे छोटे स्टार्टअप्स आए B2B स्पेस के अंदर,
yes,
और ऑल ऑफ सडन L&T, रिलायंस जियो और Amazon सबने बोला कि हम भी इसी स्पेस के अंदर जा रहे हैं। तो पीपल कम विद $multi-million और यू हैव जस्ट ओनली वन आइडिया, तो फिर आपको फिर Amazon के अंदर एम्प्लॉय बनना पड़ जाता है। दैट इज अ सेकंड रीजन। थर्ड रीजन, दैट समटाइम योर आइडिया इज वे अहेड ऑफ द टाइम। फॉर एन एग्जांपल, आज की डेट के अंदर कोई ब्लॉकचेन का सॉल्यूशन बना के बोले कि मैं इसको चीप प्राइस के ऊपर बेचूंगा, तो देयर आर 70 to 80% इवन सप्लाई चेन experts doesn't know what is a blockchain. So sometime your idea is way ahead of the time. For an example, if Amazon would have been come in India 2001, तो आज से 20 साल पहले अगर अमेजन आ जाता और हमारे पास में बेसिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ऑफ टेलीकॉम जैसे कि इंटरनेट या डेटा होता ही नहीं, तो फिर अमेजन कभी सक्सीड नहीं कर पाता। Third reason can be, this is a very particular reason, that there are two journeys in startup. One is 0 to 1 and second to 10. So 0 to 1 is a idea journey where you establish your idea, and 1 to 10 journey where you scale up. So जो 0 to 1 का माइंडसेट है वो डिफरेंट स्किल सेट है। हसलिंग चाहिए और दूसरे के अंदर एक डिसिप्लिन चाहिए, ऑपरेशनल डिसिप्लिन चाहिए। तो सम start and establish themselves well, but lack of decision making and lack of discipline, they slip through the crack. So these are the four major reasons which I feel lead to the failures. Now open to Gaurav, Abhinav, both are here so they can also add. And हम सबने कम से कम एक दो फेलियर इनमें से खुद भी किए हैं, तो
that's why I'm asking you, हाँ, और गौरव,
प्रॉब्लम जैसा अंकुर बता रहा था, स्केल करने का प्रॉब्लम रहता है बिकॉज
Yes.
एक लेवल तक तो आप ले आते हो कंपनी को, बट उसके बाद देन व्हेन यू वांट टू एक्सपैंड दैट्स अ डिफरेंट बॉल गेम, एंड finance is one of the biggest problem. I mean, as they say, businesses run on cash, not on profits or revenue. So it's your ability to keep raising money at the right time that plays a big role. One of the very big aspect of failures are inability of people or startups to adapt to the changing environment, because if you're too rigid with the idea you started with, that मैंने तो ये करने का सोचा है और मैं यही करूंगा अब, तो there are chances that you may fail. So keep it open and keep room for adjustments as you move forward in your startup journey. I mean, some of the ideas you may start with something else and end up doing something else. I mean, and they could be absolutely unrelated also. I mean, there are examples which has such things has happened or happening. So you need to keep evolving your model as you move into it, and not to be too rigid with the idea you have. So I think that flexibility sometimes founders lack, and knowing your own skill and what type of skill you need to add. I mean, you cannot do everything on your own. There will be things you may be expert in, let's say coding, but somebody you need a marketing guy. So if you try to do everything and manage everything on your own and not able to find the right partners or right people who can help you in that journey, that's another reason why startups fail. So this is what my experience is.
गौरव जी,
Yes,
रिगार्डिंग फाइनेंस आई वांट टू टेल यू समथिंग. एक्चुअली क्या होता है मैम, मैं आप सबको बताता हूँ. फाइनेंस के लिए आते हैं हमारे पास, ठीक है ना. सब लोग ये बोलते हैं कि फाइनेंस, देखिए डेफिनेटली कोई भी चीज इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, ठीक है ना, वो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आप कब इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं. हमारे पास प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट्स आती है, फाइनेंस के लिए आते हैं, बट कई बार उनको पता ही नहीं रहता है कि क्या एक्चुअली वो करना चाह रहे हैं, ठीक है ना. वो आते हैं, वो उनका प्रोडक्ट वो खुद इतना, देखिए सिंपल सी बात है, आपकी कोई भी कंपनी में अगर आप स्टार्टअप खोल रहे हैं तो बैंक भी एक आपका पार्टनर बनता है. वन ऑफ द पार्टनर बैंक रहेगा, क्योंकि बैंक अपनी कैपिटल लगाता है उसके अंदर. अब ये होता है कि कभी भी हम भी इंटरेक्शन करते हैं कस्टमर्स के साथ कि भाई क्या प्लान है, आगे फ्यूचर क्या है, तो मैक्सिमम लोग बता ही नहीं सकते. सेकंड थिंग, लोग सोचते हैं कि भाई हम अपना पूरा कैपिटल जो भी अभी तक हमने खर्चा किया है, उनके पास ना तो उनके पास बिल रहता है, प्रॉपर प्लानिंग नहीं रहती, तो वो बहुत मेजर एक हर्डल क्रिएट करता है हमारे लिए भी, क्योंकि बिकॉज हमें हर चीज पेपर्स पे लानी पड़ती है. अगर मैं कहीं पे भी कुछ भी अमाउंट कर रहा हूँ और मैं ब्लैक मतलब कैश के अंदर कर रहा हूँ जिसका कोई रिकॉर्ड्स नहीं है, प्रॉपर बुक कीपिंग नहीं रख रहा, तो एक्चुअली क्या है सर, हमें एक फाइनेंस का या एक अकाउंट्स का एक बंदा रखना चाहिए जो हमारा एटलीस्ट सब कुछ टेक केयर करे उसका. तो आपकी काफी चीजें जो फाइनेंशियल होती है वो सॉर्ट आउट हो जाएगी, क्योंकि बैंक वालों को क्या चाहिए होता है सर, सब रिकॉर्ड्स अप टू डेट चाहिए होता है, जो एटलीस्ट मिल जाए हमें.
Ma'am, we have a
Fair enough, fair enough.
serial
that means
entrepreneur.
documentation should be there. Documentation proper होने के
डॉक्यूमेंटेशन तो
बाद,
रहेगा
क्योंकि
ही,
वो बैंक में
प्रॉपर
चाहिए.
रहेगा मैम, क्योंकि काफी चीजें मिलती ही नहीं है. जब भी कोई भी चीज हो, डेफिनेटली अब आप एक ही कंपनी है, आप ही ओनर है, आप ही सब कुछ करते हैं, तो आप हर जगह तो आप प्रेजेंट नहीं हो सकते हैं डेफिनेटली. तो आपको किसी ना किसी को तो रखना ही पड़ेगा, और उस बंदे को पूरा आइडिया हो कि भाई ठीक है, जो ही विल टेक केयर ऑफ बैंकिंग पार्ट, ही विल टेक ऑफ पर्सन शुड बी टेक केयर ऑफ बैंकिंग पार्ट, अनदर पर्सन शुड बी टेक केयर ऑफ मार्केटिंग पार्ट, और ताकि हम लोग और डेवलप कर पाए. अगर हम केवल और केवल मैं सॉफ्टवेयर के रिगार्डिंग बात नहीं कर रहा, मैं एक एन जनरल वे में बात कर रहा हूँ.
बिल्कुल आप बात करो, बट सी when you're starting up, you have to have the cost also in check. I mean, your burn rate is very
Yes,
important.
yes, definitely.
जी
Yes.
जी,
So
कॉस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है सर, जैसे मैंने बताया. देखिए अभी कॉस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है, लेकिन अपन को पता होना चाहिए कि भाई ये कॉस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है, बट अप टू 2 करोड़ गवर्नमेंट बोलता है कि ठीक है, अगर आपके पास इनोवेटिव आइडिया है, आप कन्विंस कर सकते हो कि ठीक है मैं सक्सेसफुल रहेगा, तो आपको कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए. मतलब नाइदर यू रिक्वायर्ड एनी सिक्योरिटी, कि बैंक का आपसे बोलेगा कि आप सिक्योरिटी दीजिए, ठीक है ना, अप टू 2 करोड़, और 2 करोड़ तक तो बहुत बड़ा अमाउंट होता है सर.
but
तो
आप
उसके
ये
लिए
2 करोड़ रुपए देते हैं, this is on interest basis, right?
हाँ, इंटरेस्ट बेसिस दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड, बट इंटरेस्ट सर अगर आप प्राइवेट लैंडिंग पे जाते हैं तो डेफिनेटली वहां पे
I think we lost
तो
you.
0.9 0.1.
जितेंद्र, हमने बीच में हमारे को तुम्हारा वॉइस क्रैक हो गया.
हाँ, sorry
हो
ma'am, I
गया.
received just receive a call actually, so that's why maybe I'm attending this call through my phone now.
Can you
So,
repeat what you said?
Hello.
Can you repeat, Jitendra, what you said?
Hello.
Jitendra, can you
Jitendra.
repeat what you said?
Just a second, ma'am. I'm again joining this meeting. Just a second, ma'am.
Ma'am, we have a serial entrepreneur, Mr. Abhinav Parihar, on the call.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, he has
हाँ,
faced
वो
his
कहाँ है?
successes and failures. So why is not there? I think we are
अभी
missing
उसको
him.
अरे I'm asking him also. अभी गौरव के बाद जितेंद्र को हमने फाइनेंस में वो फंड्स के बारे में पूछना शुरू कर दिया. अभिनव
Yeah, I will join in. Let
हाँ.
Mr. Jitendra finish, then I will just say a few things.
I think Jitendra had to drop out. He will join again.
हाँ, he will join again, but आप बताओ जो मेरा हाँ उसमें, क्योंकि बच्चों को ये जरूर आज के टाइम में ना पता होना चाहिए कि फेल्योर के क्या क्या कारण, अपने पहले से प्रिकॉशंस है ना, बेटर देन क्योर.
Right, ma'am.
प्रिवेंशन इज बेटर देन क्योर.
राइट, एक चीज जो मिस्टर जितेंद्र ने पूरी नहीं बताई बात, आई वांट टू जस्ट कंफर्म, मतलब बताना चाहता हूँ. जो सीजीटी एमएससी की जो स्कीम बताई थी इन्होंने कि अप टू 2 करोड़ जो है कोलेटरल फ्री लोन मिलता है, दिस इज नॉट ट्रू. बेसिकली उसमें क्या 15% जो है वो जो लोन ले रहा है उसको खुद को इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ता है उसके अंदर. सो जो कोलेटरल सिक्योरिटी वो जो होती है दैट इज अप टिल 75%, एंड जो बाकी 25% है उसका 15% सिक्योरिटी जो है जो लोन ले रहा है उसको देनी पड़ती है, और बाकी की जो 10% है बैलेंस की वो बैंक के ऊपर रहता है कि बैंक उसको कैसे अरेंज करेगा. लाइक वो बैंक की रिस्क रहती है. तो बैंक इधर सिक्योरिटी मांग सकता है, या फिर वो अगर बिजनेस प्लान बहुत सॉलिड है तो वो बोलता है चलो ठीक है. और
सॉरी, हेलो, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू अगेन. I've joined this meeting. Actually, अभिनव जी, इसमें क्या है आपको मैं बताऊं, जो वर्किंग कैपिटल मार्जिन रिक्वायरमेंट इज ऑलवेज देयर. इट डजंट मीन कि आप 100 रुपीज की चीज ले रहे हैं तो उस पे कंप्लीट 100 को 100 पे ही बैंक फाइनेंस करेगा. 85 रहेगा. बट क्या होता है, अप टू 2 करोड़ वी आर नॉट आस्किंग फॉर कोलेटरल सिक्योरिटी. आई हैवंट मेंशन दिस कि मैं प्राइमरी पे चार्ज नहीं लूंगा. प्राइमरी पे तो आपको लाना ही पड़ेगा. इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द कोलेटरल पार्ट, तो कोलेटरल मुझे नहीं चाहिए. क्या मतलब ये रहेगा कि भाई जो चीज आप इन्वेंट कर रहे हैं, जो चीज रहेगा उस पर तो मेरा चार्ज है. मान लो आप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी है, आप गुड्स प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, तो उस पर मेरा चार्ज रहने वाला है. देन आफ्टर इट मैं बोलूंगा चलो इसके अलावा मुझे और क्या दे रहे हो, तो उसके अंदर सीजीटीएमएससी रोल आता है. और जरूरी नहीं कि हर जना सीजीटीएमएससी करे. डेफिनेटली वो बैंक का डिस्क्रिप्शन होता है अपने पे कि मुझे जाना है नहीं जाना है उसके ऊपर. वो तो जो भी आता है हमारे पास फाइल लेके, जो भी कहीं पे भी जाएगा, आपने भी एक्सपीरियंस किया होगा, वो आपका वो पूरा एक तरह से इंटरव्यू ही लेता है पूरा कि भाई कितना आप कॉन्फिडेंट है इस प्रोडक्ट में, कितना इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट है, कितना जल्दी आप डिप्लॉयमेंट करेंगे. इन सब एन नंबर ऑफ फैक्टर्स होता है सर उसके ऊपर. आपका सिबिल कैसा है, आपने पहले कोई लोन ले रखा है, आपने अपनी खुद की कैपिटल कितनी इन्वेस्ट करी है.
राइट. एंड सेकेंड चीज मैंने मॉर्निंग में भी कही थी, लाइक अगर कोई राजस्थान में बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना चाहता है तो राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट की भी बहुत सारी अच्छी स्कीम्स हैं, इंटरेस्ट सब्सिडी स्कीम्स है गवर्नमेंट की. तो अप टिल 6%, जैसे कोई सीजीटी एमएससी से कोई अगर लेता है, लोन लेता है, तो उसकी इंटरेस्ट रेट रहती है अप्रोक्सीमेटली 8 to 9%. एंड राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम है, दे गिव सब्सिडी अप टिल 6%. तो जो आपका जो नए जो लोग स्टार्टअप में आ रहे हैं राजस्थान में, दे हैव अ वेरी गुड पीरियड की ऑल टुगेदर दे हैव टू जस्ट पे ओनली 2 to 3% ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, सो व्हिच इज वेरी गुड फॉर स्टार्टअप्स.
एक ही सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि startupindia.gov.in को एक बार मस्ट विजिट करें. आपको बहुत सारी चीजें पता लगेगी वहां पे कि क्या क्या स्कीम्स अवेलेबल है, क्या क्या सब्सिडीज अवेलेबल है, क्या क्या नया है. उसको इवन सब लोगों को एक बार विजिट तो करना ही चाहिए. वो आपको काफी चीजें कंसेप्ट क्लियर हो जाएंगे वहां से भी कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं.
राइट. एंड फेलियर्स में जैसे अंकुर ने बहुत अच्छी बात कही थी अभी कि 0 to 1 एंड 1 to 10. तो 0 to 1 में तो क्या होता है कि जो स्टार्टअप जो कर रहा होता है वो बहुत जोश में होता है, तो वो 0 to 1 तो पहुंच जाता है. पर 1 to 10 में जहाँ पे स्केलिंग अप के आते ही बात, वहां पे बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस होते हैं. तो फर्स्ट चैलेंज जो होता है, जैसे अंकुर ने बताया, माइंडसेट का होता है. तो नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि 0 to 1 जैसे बिजनेस ओके स्टार्ट हो गया तो और चलने लगा अच्छा, तो इंसान सोचता है कि मैं अब इसको स्केल करूं. पर जब आदमी स्केल अप करता है तो उसको टोटली डिफरेंट माइंडसेट चाहिए उसको. मतलब डिफरेंट मींस टोटली डिफरेंट माइंडसेट चाहिए उसको. क्या होता है कि जब सपोज अपन एक एग्जांपल लेते हैं कि सपोज मैं कोई शेफ हूं, मैं बहुत अच्छा खाना बनाता हूं, राइट. तो मैंने सोचा कि मैं अपना रेस्टोरेंट चालू करता हूं. तो रेस्टोरेंट चालू हो गया, बहुत अच्छा चलने लगा, पूरी सिटी में फेमस हो गया. तो दिस इज 0 to 1. बट 1 to 10 मैं सोचा कि मैं अपनी फ्रेंचाइजीज खोलता हूँ या मैं अपनी कुछ और शॉप्स खोलता हूँ, कुछ और रेस्टोरेंट्स खोलता हूँ, तो वहां पे एक टोटली डिफरेंट माइंडसेट चाहिए, क्योंकि वहां पे आपको अपने जो एम्प्लॉयज है उनके अंदर आपको लीडरशिप स्किल डेवलप करनी पड़ेगी. क्या होता है नॉर्मली, जैसे हमारे यहाँ पे भी एग्जांपल देता हूँ, जैसे सपोज कि कोई मशीन है, सपोज मैं बहुत अच्छा मशीन पे काम करता हूँ कोई, बट मैंने जैसे मैं स्केल अप कर रहा हूँ, मैंने 10 मशीन खरीद ली, 10 ऑपरेटर रख लिए उसके ऊपर, और कुछ मशीन में प्रॉब्लम आ गई, तो आई शुड अलाउ द ऑपरेटर टू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम बाय हिमसेल्फ, राइट? अगर उसको हेल्प चाहिए तो मैं हेल्प कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन जनरली क्या होता है कि जो एंटरप्रेन्योर होता है वो खुद एकदम से जंप करता है उसके अंदर, बोलता है हट जाओ सब लोग, मैं खुद इसको ठीक करूंगा, बिकॉज आई एम द परफेक्ट पर्सन फॉर दिस जॉब. तो जब यहाँ पे जब ऐसा माइंडसेट आता है तो आपके बॉटम लेवल पे लीडरशिप डेवलप ही नहीं हो पाती है. तो जब आपको स्केल अप करना है तो डेफिनेटली आपको अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में लीडर्स डेवलप करने पड़ेंगे. यू हैव टू गिव देम फ्री हैंड टू टेक देयर ओन डिसीजन, एंड अपनी टीम को वो लोग मैनेज करें.
I mean, decentralization शुरू करना पड़ेगा. The moment you keep on
decentralization is, yeah, it is one of the part, बट क्या होता है कि
डेलीगेट करना पड़ेगा आपको सारी चीजें.
अगर आप शेफ हैं तो आप अगर आप एक रेस्टोरेंट में खाना बना सकते हैं, हर रेस्टोरेंट में जाके
खाना हर रेस्टोरेंट में नहीं बना सकते. तो थोड़ा सा ना, दूसरों को भी लिबर्टी देनी पड़ेगी.
लिबर्टी नहीं, लाइक आपको लीडर डेवलप करने पड़ेंगे, आपको अपने डुप्लीकेट्स पैदा करने पड़ेंगे. You have to make your duplicates.
And then there are standardization, then there are
generally 0 to 1 people have a very high IQ but very low EQ. उनका इमोशनल क्वेश्चन बड़ा लो होता है. बट जब आप बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनाते हो तो आपको IQ की जरूरत नहीं है, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस की जरूरत होती है. तो where these guys lacks and they fall through the crack.
Adding to Ankur's,
if you have answered this, there is a question there: how to prepare a proper business strategy?
Interesting.
How to prepare a proper business strategy. Well, actually, इसका कोई thumb rule नहीं है कि how to prepare it, but it depends कि आपका क्या business है, आपका क्या product है. Like either you are a manufacturing company or you are a service company. तो इसका कोई like there is no set format. But yeah, there are आपको कुछ basic चीजें हैं, like you have to do proper analysis, you have to do competitor analysis. आप अपने इंडस्ट्री में देखिए कि किस तरीके से क्या barriers हैं, या जो आपके competitors हैं वो कितने strong हैं, या आपकी future growth की opportunities क्या है. मैंने मॉर्निंग में भी कहा था कि एंटरप्रेन्योर जो भी है या जो भी कंपनी जो भी स्टार्टअप चालू कर रहा है, ही शुड ऑलवेज हैव अ विजन फॉर ग्रोथ. ऐसा नहीं है कि बिजनेस चालू हो गया, अच्छा चल रहा है, बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है, बहुत फैला भी दिया बिजनेस, बट जहां आपने ये सोच लिया कि भैया अब मेरा लाइक आई एम सेटिस्फाइड, तो वहीं से उसका बिजनेस कम होना चालू हो जाता है. सो यू हैव टू बी वेरी इनोवेटिव, यू हैव टू बी वेरी क्रिएटिव ऑल्सो. अपना दिमाग हमेशा कूल रखो एंड कीप योर माइंड ओपन फॉर न्यू आइडियाज.
Yes. And one important aspect for any business, and especially when you're in a startup space, is what problem are you trying to solve? So I mean, are you just trying to do something, replicate something, or you want to really solve a problem? Because that could be a good start to prepare a business plan. I mean,
right,
you are trying to do a mobility problem, and yeah, you were saying something.
So actually, in addition to what Gaurav has said, like आप जो भी जैसे बिजनेस स्टार्ट कर रहे हो, लाइक यू शुड हैव अ प्रॉपर डेफिनेशन ऑफ द बिजनेस. अगर आपकी बिजनेस आप क्या होता है कि आदमी चालू कुछ और करता है और हो कुछ और जाता है आगे जाके, तो धीरे धीरे बिजनेस क्या ट्रैक से उतरने लगता है. तो जब ट्रैक से उतरता है तो इनिशियल जो आपका प्लान होता है, जो बिजनेस प्लान होता है, दैट इज नॉट बीइंग फॉलोड. तो यू शुड हैव अ क्लियर स्टेटमेंट कि मेरा जो बिजनेस है, सपोज अगर मेरी कुछ टायर रिपेयर करने की भी शॉप है, तो मैं मेरे जो शॉप है वो उसमें मैं ये काम करता हूँ और ये काम मैं सबसे बेस्ट करता हूँ और मैं यही काम करूंगा. तो आपकी बिजनेस की कोई प्रॉपर डेफिनेशन होनी चाहिए. लाइक यू शुड फर्स्ट राइट योर डेफिनेशन ऑफ योर बिजनेस की आपका बिजनेस है क्या, आपने अपने बिजनेस की स्पेसिफिकेशन प्लस उसको आपको डिफाइन पहले आप खुद कीजिए. देन ओनली यू विल हैव अ क्लियर फोकस कि मुझे क्या करना है, लाइक व्हाट इज इन माय डोमेन एंड व्हाट इज नॉट इन माय डोमेन.
And that statement actually can act as your lighthouse. I mean, if you take, I mean, Google mission of that, they want to put all the available information on the world accessible to people, and that's what they are doing. I mean, take Microsoft. They had this vision that they wanted a personal computer on every desk in the world.
Within 20 years, Google has changed their business definition 7 times. So every time they are flexible enough just to change that what they want to do. So if you are
They
derailing
started
from
with the
your
problem.
plan, so
they
if you are
That means
derailing
that
from, yes,
Yes.
ma'am, you are saying something.
they're adapting to the environment, no? That means
Exactly.
they're
Right.
dynamic, they're adapting to the
As they
environment.
go,
Right.
as Priya said, open to keep your eyes open to new ideas. I mean, there could be
Yes.
complementing ideas which can help you. But I think the question here is very much related to business strategy. So attack the problem you are trying to solve. I mean, if you are trying to solve problem for hunger of the world, it's okay. I mean, that could be the one point to start, and then take small steps, build on that, what you are going to do, what differentiators you are bringing, what is your targeted audiences, what is your customer, how the economics will work. Because if you're doing it for profit, it should make profit someday. May not be in immediately, but someday it has to make some profit. So how the economics will work, how the scale up will happen, and all those things. At least have those ideas is from propping in your mind. So that's what the business strategy is, and then there is no.
So just adding what Gaurav is into it, the only important thing, and I will emphasize on only important thing for a business plan is identification of right problem. If you identified right problem, rest, finances, operation, IT, people, everything will fall in the place. Until unless you are not solving a problem, you won't be there. So if you have everything but you are solving a wrong problem, there is a high chances you will fail.
Even the biggest of corporate who have access to capital like anything, they also fail in new ventures. I mean, they open business, they don't get to run them. I mean,
Yes.
so it's not that the money solves all the problem. Maybe sometimes you're solving the wrong problem. The problem does not exist.
छोटी छोटी चीजों से चालू कीजिए। मेरा अकॉर्डिंग तो यही है कि आप एकदम डायरेक्टली बिग मत सोचिए कि इतना बस ये कर देंगे। छोटी छोटी एक स्टेप से डेफिनेटली सारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व भी हो जाएगी, और जो भी आपके आइडियाज है वो भी इम्प्लीमेंट है, क्योंकि इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑल्सो प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल। कि मैं किसी चीज को बस सोच रहा हूँ लेकिन इम्प्लीमेंट ही नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, तो फिर कुछ नहीं होने वाला उसका। और मार्केट सर्वे कि जो चीज मैं कर रहा हूँ क्या मार्केट में कितनी डिमांड है। अब इफ आई टॉक अबाउट बैंक, तो बैंक में भी हम कहीं पे भी बैंकिंग ब्रांच दूसरी जगह लानी है, उसके पहले हम सर्वे करते हैं कि क्या बैंक की रिक्वायरमेंट है वहां पे, उस जगह है, कितना बिजनेस मिलेगा। तो एक सर्वे इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, इट प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल। एक सर्वे तो होना चाहिए।
Again, Jitendra, you're
I
right.
want to ask
I won't say, but survey is good, but I mean, it may not be a formal survey. I mean, I think what Jitendra is trying to say is that
इट्स रिलेटेड टू माय, जो चीज
Yes.
मैं स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ, दैट इज रिलेटेड टू दैट
related
ओनली।
to that, doing some basic understanding of market, whether the product is really needed or
No.
I mean, it's only you who thinks that it is a need, or there is other people who also feel that there is a need for it.
Devraj, you want to speak something?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ah,
Sir,
tell me.
we talked about finance, idea. These are the important pillars. One more important pillar is there of startup, that is team. The colleagues you want in your team. So, sir, how would you suggest anyone to get good colleagues, good teammates for the startup? Like how to choose among people?
Very excellent point. So that is another thing, ma'am, when you ask that question. So 50% of all startups actually fail because of the rift between the co-founders. I mean, people who found the team, they're not able to go together a long distance. So this and Devras, to be honest, this is my feeling. Nobody can answer that. Who is the right people for you? Nobody can answer that. I think and most important aspect for a startup when you're building a team is the compatibility and ability to let go. I mean, and I mean, it to be okay to be second in line. I mean, that's what I would say. I mean, most of the time it happens that people नहीं मैंने ज़्यादा किया, नहीं मैंने ज़्यादा किया, क्या किया, मैं सारा ये किया.
Yes. Yes.
So I think if you can let that go, and I've experienced it myself. So if you can let that go, कि हाँ ठीक है, you be the face of the company. I'm okay with it. But the other guy is also similarly okay. I think that's the most important thing. Of course, the knowledge and the hard work and all those things has to be there. But I think the more important thing is that.
So be the change you want to see. So if you are comfortable with the problems you are solving, the differences. But if you want someone to adopt, then you will also adopt. So if you adopt this system, I think you will find the right people. So there is no right or wrong. You will have to understand the strength of you have to utilize them in the right way. So honestly speaking, there's a straight answer to it. That's why we are taking answers.
Abhinav, you have some submission to it.
Yeah. I think Ankur is correct. Actually क्या है कि ये ना right आइडियल कभी कुछ नहीं होता है, आइडियल कभी मिलता ही नहीं है. अगर आपको कोई आइडियल इंसान मिल गया अपने ऑपरेशंस के लिए या सेल्स के लिए या परचेज के लिए, देन यू आर मोर देन अ लकी पर्सन. बट आपको क्या मिलता है, आपको एक कोई आपको एम्प्लॉय रखते हो, आपको देखना है कि उसके अंदर उसकी स्ट्रेंथ्स क्या है और वीकनेस क्या है. एंड अगर आपको लगता है कि हाँ मैं थोड़ा सा इसके साथ में इसकी ट्रेनिंग दूंगा या इसकी हेल्प करूंगा तो इसकी जो वीकनेसेस हैं कुछ स्ट्रेंथ्स में चेंज हो सकती है, देन यू शुड डू इट. अदरवाइज जो स्ट्रेंथ्स है उसके हिसाब से आपको देखना चाहिए कि यार ये आदमी क्या काम कर सकता है. मेन चीज बिजनेस में ये है कि आपको काम करवाना आना चाहिए.
हाँ, काम निकालना आना चाहिए, उससे काम निकालना आना चाहिए आपको, हर एक से काम निकलवाना आना चाहिए.
हाँ, देसी भाषा में यही है कि आपको काम
निकलवाना आना चाहिए आपको हर एक को.
एंड कौन आदमी क्या काम कर सकता है उसको.
बेस्ट.
Plus, like for your employees, you should always have a big heart for them also, because वो भी काफी expect करते हैं. If you are on top position, your employees या जो bottom line है, they expect a lot from you. तो even if you do, जैसे कुछ आप छोटा भी कर देंगे तो it means a big thing for them. So I think ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई जगह है जहाँ पे आपको सही लोग मिलेंगे. Like you have to keep your eyes open. You have to just look around. आपके नेटवर्क्स हैं या आप अपने एम्प्लॉयज में देखिए कि कौन सा है जिसको आप हायर पोजीशन पे ला सकते हैं, प्रमोशन दे सकते हैं, या फिर यू शुड ऑलवेज कीप योर आईज ओपन कि ना कौन बंदा ऐसा है जो कि मेरा ये काम आ सकता है. तो अब फ्यूचर में आप चले तैयार करके रखिए कि हाँ इस बंदे को मैं ये काम दे सकता हूँ. उसके हिसाब से आपको प्लानिंग करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि सही बंदा मिलता नहीं है. इंडिया में ये है कि सही बंदे को जॉब नहीं मिलती है और सब सही एम्प्लॉयर को सही बंदा नहीं मिलता है.
Oh yes.
And that's not
I hope.
Yeah, that's everywhere.
अच्छा स्टूडेंट्स, और कुछ पूछना है? हमने ही पूछ के सारा काम कर लिया, तुम्हारे सारी चीजें.
एक मैं ये चीज ऐड करना चाहूंगा कि जब आप कोई बिजनेस कर रहे हैं या जब आप कोई भी काम चालू करते हैं तो देयर आर टू मेनी पीपल हु से वो आपको डिमोरलाइज करते हैं या आपके नेगेटिव बोलते हैं. तो जो भी आपका आइडिया, यू शुड हैव अ पैशन फॉर दैट कि यार जो मैं कर रहा हूँ वो मैं सही कर रहा हूँ. प्लस आप जो भी राय लेवें किसी से भी, तो आप ये देखें कि हर किसी से राय नहीं लेवें, जो सही इंसान है उसी से राय लेनी चाहिए. जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल, जस्ट टू मेक इट अंडरस्टैंड बेटर, जैसे सपोज कि मुझे बीए करनी है फॉर एग्जांपल, तो मैंने एक टैक्सी वाले से पूछा कि भैया मैं बीए करूँ क्या, तो वो बोलेगा अरे भैया बीए मैंने भी देख मैं टैक्सी चला रहा हूँ. ठीक है, तो दिस इज वन पर्सपेक्टिव. मैं बोलूँगा नहीं यार बीए नहीं करनी, टैक्सी चलानी पड़ेगी. सेकंड केस में मैंने एक आईएएस ऑफिसर से पूछा कि मैं बीए करूं क्या, तो बोलेगा हाँ यार बीए करो, आप एग्जाम दो आरएएस आईएएस का, एंड यू कैन मूव फॉरवर्ड इन योर लाइफ. तो ये एक सेकंड पर्सपेक्टिव है. तो अपन को ये देखना है कि अपन को राय किसकी लेनी है. हर किसी की राय लेके नहीं चलना है, क्योंकि अपने लाइक इंडिया में तो हर इंसान की अपनी खुद का ओपिनियन है, हर इंसान खुद की राय है. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि सबकी सुनते रहे. हाँ ठीक है, मेन थिंग है कि हमको हमारे आइडिया के अंदर कॉन्फिडेंस होना चाहिए कि हाँ ये जो मैंने जो बिजनेस प्लान बनाया है या जो ये मेरा आइडिया है, दिस इज अ सस्टेनेबल प्लान एंड इसके अंदर ग्रोथ है आगे. ऐसा नहीं कि सैचुरेशन आ जाएगा कुछ टाइम के बाद. सो दिस इज इट.
एनीवन एल्स? अगर स्टूडेंट्स किसी को कुछ पूछना हो, हमारे स्टूडेंट्स सोच गए होंगे लोग तो बहुत ज्यादा डिस्कशन कर लिए. हाँ विनोद सर. हाँ विनोद सर, तो शैलवी भाई डिस्कशन हमने खूब अच्छे से हो गया आपका. ठीक है, हमारे पुराने मेरे लिए तो भाई पुराने मेरे स्टूडेंट्स इतने दिनों बाद मुझे चाहे वर्चुअल मोड पर बट सामने देखने को मिले.
Hopefully, ma'am,
I'm more than happy.
As well.
I'm very happy to see you all. Very happy to see you all.
Feeling is very
मौका आपको हम देते रहेंगे. आप अपने स्टूडेंट्स को बुलाते रहिए, बच्चों को भी थोड़ा नॉलेज मिलता रहेगा। सो
Definitely
एक्टिविटीज
वो
बहुत सारी लाइनअप है आईएससी में। सो होप विल मीट अगेन somewhere at some time, some other platform. So thank you very
My
much for
last
your
question.
time.
Thank
Yes,
you,
yes.
thank you for organizing this. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
Devraj, he wants
Gaurav,
to ask.
Abhinav,
Yes, sir.
Ankur.
I think he wants to ask something, Devraj.
Who? Devraj wants to ask something.
Yes,
Devraj,
ma'am.
ask. हाँ पूछो।
सर इनिशियल स्टेजेस पे कई बार होता है कि सर जैसे एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट आदमी है सर, जैसे वेब डेवलपमेंट में आप ले लो, मेरी टीम में किसी को भी बैकएंड नहीं आता, एक बैकएंड का एक बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग बैकएंड वाला बंदा आ जाता है मेरे पास। तो सर उस केस में सर आप उसके साथ फ्रैंक भी नहीं हो सकते, एंड सर ज्यादा सुपरवाइजर की तरह काम करना भी सर ज्यादा बेटर नहीं रहता उस सिचुएशन में कि सर उसको कंफर्टेबल कराने के लिए। तो सर उस सिचुएशन में क्या किया जाए?
Be yourself.
Of course, be yourself is one, and see, I don't know. Question is related to how to retain him or how to keep him motivated. What exactly is the question?
Question what I understand.
सर आई वांट हाउ टू रिटेन हिम।
blend of all उसने बोला है कि बस करूं क्या उसके बाद।
इतना important. If you feel he is very important, give him some partner. I mean, give him ESOPs or something, or some stake in the company, so that he has something to work for it and grow it with you. If he's that important for you, I mean, that's the paramount of compensation you can give to somebody. And I mean, if you can't pay him direct money and all those things, because see, all said and done, in India, money is one of the biggest motivators you find. That's something, of course, with the satisfaction of, and what it does is, if he feels ownership in the company, you may need not to monitor him too much. He will be self-motivated to grow that company, because that means that his stake will also grow. So those are some of the things which startups do for high value talent they acquire, and then that gives them the feeling of ownership. I think Parihar or Ankur can throw some more light, or Jitendra.
I think like addition to Gaurav, अगर सपोज आपको कोई बिजनेस है और आपके बिजनेस में ऐसा कोई एम्प्लॉय है जो कि एक की पर्सन है और आप काफी हद तक उस पर डिपेंडेंट हैं, तो दिस इज अ काइंड ऑफ अ सिचुएशन जहाँ पे वो आपको ब्लैकमेल भी कर सकता है, और नॉर्मली ऐसा होता है बिजनेसेस के अंदर, या फिर वो आपको छोड़ के वो अपना नया काम चालू कर देगा सिमिलर, और आपको पैरेलल काम चालू कर देगा, एंड ही विल बी वन ऑफ योर कॉम्पिटिटर। सो ऐसा होता है, काफी बिजनेसेस में होता है, काफी, और बहुत टाइम से ऐसा होता रहा है, ऐसा नया कुछ नहीं। बट इसको डील करने के लिए सबसे पहली चीज ये है कि आपको अपने बिजनेस का हर एस्पेक्ट में आपकी एटलीस्ट यू शुड नो, मास्टरी नहीं कह रहा हूँ मैं, बट आपके बिजनेस में जो भी फंक्शंस हैं आपको वो मालूम होने चाहिए। बीइंग टॉप मैनेजर, टॉप मैनेजमेंट के अगर आप हैं तो आपको सब काम मोस्टली आपको आना चाहिए। मास्टरी भले ही नहीं हो, बट यू शुड नो कि क्या चीज कैसे हो रही है। एंड you should always keep a substitute, like you should always think for a substitution, क्योंकि कभी ना कभी ऐसा ये पॉइंट आएगा ही आएगा आपके बिजनेस में, जब कोई इंसान है उसको लगेगा कि इस बिजनेस के अंदर मैं ही हूँ, या मैं ही चला रहा हूँ, या मेरी वजह से बिजनेस चल रहा है, तो ये आपके लॉन्ग टर्म में प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करेगा। तो आपको ये चीज पहले से आपको देख के, बीइंग वेरी स्मार्ट, लाइक आपको पहले से देख के, एंड यू शुड ट्राई टू डेवलप अ सब्स्टिट्यूट। एक नहीं दो करने चाहिए, ताकि ऐसा नहीं कि एक सब्स्टिट्यूट किया और वो भी वैसे ही हो गया। सो लाइक ऐसा नहीं है, लाइक आपको बिजनेस, आपका माइंडसेट बहुत ओपन माइंडसेट होना चाहिए।
मल्टीपल पीपल,
आप लाइक यू इट इज एक्सपेक्टेड कि आप बहुत स्मार्टली काम कीजिए। आपका जो दिमाग भी बहुत स्मार्ट होना चाहिए कि आप इजीली भाप ले, या आप किसी के बॉडी लैंग्वेज से कुछ समझ लें, या बहुत सारे बिजनेसेस के अंदर पॉलिटिक्स भी होती है, लाइक इंटरनल भी कुछ चल रहा होता है, जो मालिक होता है उसको मालूम नहीं होता है। तो देयर आर ट्रिक्स कि आप लाइक यू शुड हैव योर आपके अपने बंदे हों कुछ डिपार्टमेंट में, जो कि अंदर क्या चल रहा है। कहीं भी कोई देखो, बहुत बार जैसे बड़ी कंपनियों में हड़ताल भी होती है, तो वो ऐसे एक साथ नहीं होती है, कुछ ना कुछ धीरे अंदर चल रहा होता है, उसके बाद में बड़ा रिवॉल्ट होता है। तो वो सिचुएशन है, उससे पहले ही उसको आप इधर यू जस्ट टर्न इट ऑफ, या आप कुछ अलग ऐसा कुछ कर दें कि ऐसी कि कोई सिचुएशन आए नहीं। इसके लिए क्या है कि ये जरूरी है कि बॉटम लाइन में या मिड मैनेजमेंट लेवल पे आपके खुद के भी ऐसे बंदे होने चाहिए जो कि आपको इंटरनल इन्फॉर्मेशन क्या हो रहा है कंपनी के अंदर, ऐसा कुछ इन्फॉर्म करें। खासकर क्या होता है, जैसे परचेज जो होता है, परचेज के अंदर नॉर्मली ऐसा होता है कि परचेज मैनेजर जो होता है वो धीरे धीरे करप्ट हो जाता है, and he tries to favor few suppliers. तो ये सब चीजें आपको ऐसे मालूम नहीं पड़ेगा until unless you do proper analysis. And आपको हर चीज की रिपोर्टिंग लेनी चाहिए कि क्या चीज कैसे हो रही है, लाइक क्वांटिटेटिव रिपोर्टिंग होनी चाहिए हर चीज की. एंड ऑन टॉप ऑफ दिस आई वांट टू से कि हमेशा आप ये सोचिए कि आप 100% किसी चीज को कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते, आप पूरे बिजनेस को 100% कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते हो. यू शुड ऑलवेज टेंड टू कंट्रोल इट 95%. आप ये सोचो 5% तो लीकेज होगा ही होगा मेरी कंपनी के अंदर. अगर आप 100% कंट्रोल करने बैठोगे तो आपका पूरा जो मन की शांति है या दिमाग है वो पूरा उसमें लग जाएगा कि एंड यू विल बी वेरी, जैसे जो होता है ना शकी आदमी, वैसा हो जाएगा, बिजनेस ग्रो नहीं होगा. तो ओके, लीकेजेस हो रहे हैं, होने दीजिए. परचेज में कोई करप्शन है तो होने दीजिए, या जो कुछ भी हो रहा है मतलब अंदर कुछ चल रहा है कंपनी में तो चलने दीजिए, बट यू हैव टू कंट्रोल 95%, नॉट 100%.
ये प्रोक्योरमेंट वाले के लिए आई हैव अ प्रोडक्ट फॉर यू परियार साहब, आई विल सेल यू आफ्टर दिस डिस्कशन.
No, but I think Pariyar, I think you gave a advice which
Okay,
is
chalo.
very relevant, but in my opinion, that's for big organization. I mean, people. I mean, startup which has 4, 5, 6 people. People are arm's length, and you can't create successions and multiple substitutions and all those things. So
नहीं, मैं ये 1 to 10 वाली बात कर रहा हूँ. मैं 0 to 1 में तो इतने लोग होंगे ही नहीं. आपका एक ऑफिस होगा, उसके अंदर 4 आदमी बैठेंगे.
हाँ, वही मैं कहता हूँ. ये I think it's more of a 0 to 1 क्योंकि उसको बस
Startup,
बैठने का एक ही आदमी है और he wants to do that, and if you really feel that he has a cultural fit, not the knowledge fit, but if he has a cultural fit with you and the organization, and if he shares the vision, I don't mind making him a partner to the journey. I mean, if he's that important, if he brings a skill set which is very complementary to you, and you will see most of the startups will always have co-founders and multiple co-founders. So
Actually, Gaurav, you would relate to this, and Pariyar, you will also relate to this. That we sometimes feel that someone is very important, but actually he or she is not. So we sometimes create dependency, but we can also, I mean, if you will let go someone, it doesn't impact much. It would be just a bubble for 1 month, 2 months, of things get settled.
Right,
but Ankur, I still those are true for large organizations. I mean, for small organizations, people are very important, very hard to come by. I mean, startup join करने वाले वैसे ही बहुत होते नहीं. I mean, if you want to कि ऐसा कि मैं कल को जाऊँ एडवर्टाइजमेंट लगाऊंगा और 4 लोग इंटरव्यू खड़े होंगे, वैसा होता है. You get very difficultly. I mean, it's very difficult to get right people. And if you really feel that the person is good and a cultural fit, it's very important that you see the culture. If that happens, I think it's important to retain people. You can't build team by letting people.
So, Gaurav, Abhinav, Ankur, and Jitendra all are here.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think Jitendra is also there.
Yes.
Okay. So, बहुत अच्छा लगा. I enjoyed a lot seeing you all and also talking to you all, getting some new exposure. In fact, it will help the students. So,
I hope, ma'am, we were useful to the students. And
oh yes, नहीं हमारे डिस्कशन बच्चों को तो बेनिफिशियल थे ही, कोई भी हमने आउट ऑफ वे नहीं बात नहीं किया, कुछ भी वो था तो यूजफुल ही चाहे. हाँ ठीक है, मैंने वो एक बात ये है कि जितना ज्यादा फॉर्मल की जगह इनफॉर्मल टॉक से ज्यादा चीजें समझ में आती हैं.
correct.
तो दैट वाज आवर प्लान कि ना ठीक है, हम बाद में उसको उसी तरीके से ले लेंगे. अपने अपने क्वेश्चंस के बीच में क्वेश्चंस से क्वेश्चंस निकलेंगे और बच्चों को इंफॉर्मेशन पूरी पहुंच जाएगी.
Correct.
Vinod sir, have we achieved the motive of this objective of this program?
Yes ma'am, definitely. और अगर कोई चीज स्किप भी हो गई हो तो आई
नहीं,
गेस
हमारे पास बहुत ऑप्शन है. बिल्कुल हम और अगली बार और भी गौरव, अभिनव, अपने और भी फ्रेंड्स जो भी हैं अपने साथ के अपन कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. इनफैक्ट अभी तो हम अब्रॉड सब वर्चुअल मोड में तो हम कहीं पर भी हैं.
हाँ मैम, ये
आउट ऑफ इंडिया वालों को भी कर सकते हैं ज्वाइन करवा.
तो अभी काफी एक्टिविटीज लाइन अप है. तो
गौरव, आपका दिनेश से कोई लिंक है? दिनेश सोनी था ना अपने साथ, दैट
दिनेश से मेरा लिंक मैम कुछ साल पहले तक तो था, बट नॉट वेरी रिसेंट.
कंप्यूटर साइंस वाला ना जो छोटा,
I know.
दैट भरत के संग का जो अपना
he was doing animation and all.
हाँ, yes, yes, yes.
I was in Bangalore. I
नहीं,
used to
उसका भी कोई अचीवमेंट आया था, मैंने अब उसको मुझे वो दिमाग नहीं he has achieved something, वो मेरे पास था, लेकिन मेरे उससे कांटेक्ट का मुझे इशू है कुछ, उसने भी अपना ही कुछ कर रहा है वो भी.
He was working, I mean, yeah, he's doing something on his own, but he was working with Disney or something.
He was working with
हाँ,
Disney.
yes. चलो अब okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, all of you, कि मेरे single call पर you all joined here.
Always, ma'am, anytime.
Okay, so thanks a lot
Bye bye.
to all of you. बहुत अच्छा लगा. I really
Thank you,
enjoyed
sir.
talking to you all.
And please feel free to reach out to us individually if you.
Oh yes, definitely. गौरव, मैं तो तुम्हें साल में एक बार तो कॉल कर ही लेती हूँ, किसी ना किसी भी तरीके से.
It's nice.
अभिनव और अंकुर से भी मैंने बात किया था एक बार. He was in Mumbai, I think. Ankur, I called you ना?
Right.
At that time he was in Mumbai.
पिछली बार जब तुम मुंबई में था ना अंकुर, तब हुई होगी बात.
हाँ, मेरी कभी बात तो हुई थी, तब इसने ही बताया था अंकुर ने मुंबई में हूँ मैं. ठीक है. Okay.
Anytime we can contribute to the college, please let us know. We would be more than happy.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay,
Nice
thank you,
of
ma'am.
you.
Thank
Okay. So
Thank you.
good night. Bye.
you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.